Hey, what's going on YouTube? We are live with Fred Gar, my good friend. He's a subscriber friend, and he hit me up wanting to, come on and give us some information about how long he's been stacking. Pretty much what I do with the other YouTubers, but with the subscriber. So I'm very excited. Fred Gar, if you want to say what's up to the people.
Hello, everybody. I can't see the chat, but I just want to let you know I'm saying hello.
Cool, cool.
So,
Yeah, so I'm gonna say what's up to the chat, and we'll wait for people to trickle in. We have Yankee stacking in the house. Shout out to you, my friend, for being first. Silver Wolverine, a legend in the game. He's here. Fred, are you excited?
yeah, yeah.
Osprey Power, Nate Gate, and they're just saying hello. So yeah,
Cool.
6 people watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It really does mean a lot. Walter, what's going on? This is Clever Coin with Fred Gar. He is someone that wanted to get on. I think he has a lot of wealth and knowledge that he's going to share with us. So I'm very excited for this one. Slow Stacker, what's going on? Nate Gate, Nate Gate, Nate Gate. There's your shout out, Bo. 3 shout outs for you. Um, but yeah, so how's your day so far? Let's just talk about that while people trickle in.
Oh, it's going. It's a little unusual because we're here in Arizona and we have javelina. So the dogs are getting really wild and crazy because the javelina are in the backyard bumping into stuff. But it's been a good day. It's been a real good day. Just dealing with those guys out there, but
Well, what's
it's
a
been real cool.
javelina? What is that? Is that like coyotes
Uh,
or
It's like a wild pig.
wild pig?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
is
there's
it?
a couple of those out there.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't even know there was pigs in Arizona. I heard pigs are pretty everywhere. They're all over the place, right? Like they're very adaptable in the environment.
Yeah, apparently so. We have them. So I know they may eat the some of the prickly pear. I think cactus. I think they like to eat those. So they are pretty adaptable. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool. But
yeah.
yeah, so I went shooting today. I went to the shooting range. That was fun. Um,
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not that good of a shot, but I did fairly well. I have a good friend who's a cop. He takes me to the shooting range once in a while, so it's pretty fun.
Wow.
And yeah, so I think there's more people. Let me say what's up to Main Squeeze. What's going on? Haven't you seen Old Yeller? Honestly, maybe I don't remember. It sounds familiar. I'm sure I'm gonna get yelled at for not remembering that. Um, but yeah, so people are slowly starting to trickle in. There's 12 people watching. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for hanging out with me and Fredigar and I. Excuse my poor grammar.
It's
You,
okay.
you never know with these people, man. You can say one thing wrong and then they'll try to, burn you down. So no, but
Yeah, it is wild.
cool, cool. So let's just get this started with since you don't post any content, right, on YouTube?
I did one video, and that was the one I did on the giveaway I won when I won a lot of. I guess you with Urban Lifestyle, you gave him some silver certificates, I guess, for a donation for the giveaway or something. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gave
I
him a few.
oh okay, yeah. See, I won one of those. So I won one of those and a Kennedy half, a 90% Kennedy half and a silver bar. So I did a whole video on like kind of an unboxing of everything I won and a huge shout out to Urban Lifestyle. So I can't believe I won so many goodies from him. So it was awesome. So that's the only video I have up right now. I may be doing another one. And if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. Comment on that first video and let me know because I'd like to do more. It's just I do it from my cell phone. So it takes a while to upload. So I have to kind of let the phone sit all night for the video to be uploaded. So
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's the problem because like cell phones are good enough to be like your only source for like everything I film is off my cell phone just because it's so much more easier than like taking out a computer and like syncing
Mhm.
audio and doing all that. But I do have a PC to upload. I mean to move the footage from my phone to the computer to chop it up a little bit and then to put it online. I've never actually done a video from phone to edit on the phone to straight on YouTube. That's very interesting. I'm gonna say what's up to Silver Chimp. My boy's in the house, the stacking
Uh-oh.
nerd. He's
Oh, the
another legend.
stacking nerd. Cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. I'm always starstruck when I see like the stacking nerd or Silver Wolverine in the house. Like, whoa, these are like people that I've been watching for a long time. It blows my mind.
They're legends,
Yeah,
they really are legends. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty
yeah,
cool to have them there.
yeah. So we're talking to Fred Gar. He has one video on his channel, but he's definitely has a good wealth of knowledge of pretty much stacking, a little bit of prepping, which we're gonna get to shortly. What's going
Mhm.
on, Jeff? I hope all is well this evening. So let's just get started with it. How long have you been stacking, like, or collecting, prepping precious metals?
Well, I have been like a collector since I was 8 years old. So I've given away my age here. I'm about 36, so that's almost 30 years or so.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So I've been collecting for a long time. Stacking, the strange thing is when Mike Maloney came out with his book, now I don't even remember the name of it. It's his Gold and Silver, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver.
Right.
When he came, what's that? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, when he came out with that book, I read through it and I thought, wow, this is crazy. Things are going to happen, and our government, who knows, is going to shut down and all. I was just flipping out, even though it didn't say that per se in the book, but it gave a lot of examples about hyperinflation and deflation and how gold and silver would perform in either scenario.
Right.
So, I immediately, when I got the book, silver was like 40 something an ounce, $40 an ounce. So I ran and bought a bunch of silver eagles. And then I got involved in this network marketing thing, whatever. And I wanted to go on the trip. So I ended up selling it. And at that time, when I sold it, it dropped down to like $16 an ounce.
Wow.
And yeah, yeah. So I took a huge loss on that. But what happened was after selling it and getting out of that network marketing thing, I got back into it again. I think I got back into it around kind of the same price point, maybe around 16, but a few years had passed by. So yeah, I got back into it. I started stacking. Now, my word of warning is if you want to buy like the higher end silver, like oh gosh, like silver with high premiums, that are maybe have low mintages, and you want to flip it. I recommend that you have some experience on eBay before you do that, because I like went all in on silver. I'm not it's like 99% of what I have, and that's not good. I'm sure Urban Lifestyle talks about it all the time about not going all in, into silver.
Right.
But
Right. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut you off because there's a lot of questions that I want to ask here.
Oh, okay.
So you started stacking when you were, I mean, collecting when you were really young. What did you collect back then? Like when you were that age?
When I was young, it was just stuff that I would find and think it was unique,
Uh-huh.
like a Mercury dime or stuff from the '60s. The majority silver stuff from the '60s.
Cool,
So
cool.
that was really what I got when I was a young kid.
Right.
Um, I always had a passion for it. I loved the Silver Eagles when I was a kid. Now it's not a big deal, but now like the Libertads are huge. I got one because the dealer I went to, I was buying rounds and I love rounds, but he gave me a Libertad and I saw that coin. I'm like, whoa, this is cool. It looks really nice. So favorite coin right now would be that. But I really mostly collect the rounds because there's so many different types. But yeah, when I was a kid, it was really whatever I could get my hands on that I thought had value.
Right. Yeah, that's super
So
cool. I hear that a lot from other people that like their parents or their grandparents got them into collecting coins. Maybe not even necessarily for the silver content, but just to collect coins to like fill up a dime book or whatever. And I kind of envy them a little bit. I think that's kind of cool. That's something that I've never really got into. So I mean, that's pretty awesome. And so you said Mike Maloney, you read that book when silver was
yes,
very expensive, and that's what got you into silver, right?
yes, that's what got me into stacking.
Stacking.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what got me into stacking. And I think, to be honest, now that I think about when I was a young kid, my grandmother actually passed away and left me some silver coins. So I got more serious about it because she left them to me, you know. So that really sparked my interest in because she was into it, and you know, so it just kind of catapulted me into the coin collecting thing. And my dad, he's into it. My stepdad's into it. A lot of people in my family are into collecting coins. So on the collector side, that part of me is always there, you know. So
Yeah, yeah, no,
yeah,
no, I think that's super cool. But Mike Maloney, so do you regret being introduced to silver in that way? It sounds like you did lose quite a bit of money.
yeah, I did. I did regret it, and I was kind of bitter about silver for a while. But then what happened was when silver got down to about 16, and stayed there for a long period of time. This time I kind of looked at it logically and said, you know what? It's getting closer to a bottom or a low. So it would be a great time to that's my phone, sorry. It would be a great time to start buying silver again because it's at a low, and there's a lot of different economic signs and trends out there. So I think it would be great. And then also, I saw a video from Mike Maloney that broke down the gold to silver ratio, and that really got me back in the game. When I saw the gold to silver ratio, I thought, man, the gold to silver ratio is so high. You know, how many ounces of silver does it take to make 1 ounce to get to the cost of 1 ounce of gold? So I thought, man, this is amazing. This is a good time to get out there and do it. You know, it could go to 100 to 1, who knows? But
Right.
I and I and I really think in the short term we could see possibly like $10 an ounce, possibly. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but I do believe long term it's going to bounce back. It's going to come back strong. Now, in my lifetime, the highest it's ever been is $45 an ounce. So that's the high. If you're looking at the time type of like technical side of it, that's as high as it's gone. So um, I still think though, if you buy silver under $20, hey, you stand the chance of doubling your money at some point, you know?
Right, right.
So based on the high, you know?
So from taking that loss, what were like some of the big things that you learned from those from that lesson? Like, have you are you were you currently all in on silver, or is that like, or is that like a now, or was that back then?
Oh, that's a, well, back then I was all in, and then unfortunately I did the same thing over again because, um, for some odd reason, I don't know, I was just sitting on the sidelines waiting for a bottom to hit with
Uh-huh.
silver. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And then when I saw it hit like the $14 level, I thought, man, that level is like right around the cost of production, you know, to
Right.
produce, bringing it from the mine to the retail level. So I thought, man, I don't want to miss out if I'm at the cost of production, but there's no guarantee that's not going to go lower. You
Right,
know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah, like eventually the market will fix itself, but I think you definitely want to go ahead and diversify a little bit more. Just like
Yeah. Oh
Urban
yeah.
Lifestyle says, and I definitely say this too. For my situation, similar to yours, except I just didn't go all in. But I don't know if you know who Peter Schiff is. He's
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think this guy's he's a libertarian. I agree with a lot of what he says about the economy, but he definitely ends a pumper, and as is Mike Maloney. I think you know that now, do you? Like, do you know what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah,
I think you need you need to know a little bit of information from the pumpers, and then you need to know a little bit of information from the naysayers.
Yeah, yeah,
And if you're
100%.
heavy on one, and I was just going to say, if you were heavy on one side of the coin of that equation, then you're going to end up like me. You're going to keep going all in, all in, all in, which is horrible. And I regret that because I ended up going all in on, I have the Arctic Fox. I
Uh-huh.
got a lot of those Arctic Foxes.
He has all the Arctic Foxes, chat. Let me interrupt you really quick to say what's up to Ozark. I think I said hi to Debbie B. Kendall Kids in the house. We're talking to Fred Gar. He's a subscriber of mine. I think he kind of found me through Urban Lifestyle, if I'm not mistaken, which is another great
Oh,
channel.
yeah.
So maybe he'll post more videos. He does have one currently. So yeah, that's who we are talking to. That's who you're hearing on your headphones or speakers. So why the Arctic Fox? Why?
I got caught up into that. Oh, it's 4.9's fine. Can you believe it? Oh, and I'm like, oh, it's 4.9's fine. That's so cool. Well, if I would have been like doing more of my research, I would have realized there's a lot of different coins out there that are 4.9's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got caught into it because it was like a dealer or my local coin shop. He had a special on it, and I'm thinking, wow, I can get that. It's 4.9's fine. I'm just gonna jump in there and buy a bunch of that, which I kind of regret. But the price I bought them at is the lowest price I've seen. So I didn't lose in terms of um how much I paid for them. It was just the premium was still high for
Oh,
me. I
yeah.
could have I could have got some generic rounds and I would have had extra uh silver
Right.
instead.
I think that definitely is a nice coin. But for me, it's you definitely got to do your research before, purchasing a batch like that. But it's definitely happened where I purchased something that, especially early on, right, that I thought was like rare, but it turns out not to be the case. But I like how you mentioned that if you want to sell stuff on eBay, you're probably like it'll probably serve you to go ahead and just get rid of some like I don't know, like furniture or anything. Just get rid of anything that you can sell, just so you can start building a reputation on eBay. What do you think about that?
You're right. You're right. You're 100% right because they're going to look at how many people have commented on your thing. I haven't done eBay in a long time, so it may have changed. It's been years since I've done eBay, but back when I was doing eBay as a buyer, I looked at how many people transactions that I mean, how many people has that person transacted with. You know what I mean? Their feedback level, all that stuff I look at. So if you've only done a couple of transactions, then I'm not going to trust you in terms of buying the product. You may have 100% feedback, but you only done a couple of transactions. I hear all kinds of horror stories where people have gotten with other people where they bought coins or fake bars or and any of that stuff, and they said, well, he had 100% feedback, but he didn't have as many transactions. So, um, yeah, I just think you got to be careful. And if you're buying a high premium coin, you really got to think about, okay, how am I going to sell this? Because like me going to the dealer and buying it from him or the local coin shop and buying it from them doesn't mean that they're going to buy it back at that same price. You know what I mean?
No, yeah,
So
absolutely not. They
yeah,
definitely won't.
yeah. And so it wouldn't matter if I had a premium. I could have the Silver Shield series rounds that they make. I could have a bunch of those. And if I would go in a coin shop to try to get $30, because some of them, the proof ones, go for $30, and I say, hey, I paid $30 for this and I have 100 of those. Are you going to give me 30? They'll look at you crazy if silver isn't at $30 an ounce. If it's at 14 like it is now, they're not going to pay $30. They're not going to give you $30. They're going to give you 14 for it, and you lose money. You lose half your money doing it that way. And I'm not against Silver Shield. I'm just saying if you have a Silver Shield, Silver Bullet, Silver Shield coin, you want to really be involved in eBay if you want to sell it back and capitalize on that higher premium. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. And I think that's something that, I mean, maybe other people could just fall into that trap because they think it's just going to be easy to put it on eBay and get rid of it and make their money back, not including eBay fees and shipping, right? They just still think
That's
that it's
true.
going to be that simple. But when you don't have anything, on you've never sold anything on eBay, it's definitely not going to be that easy. Especially I know for myself because I'm a buyer on eBay, and I definitely do check for the amount of transactions and for the reviews and for all that stuff. So
Hmm.
if I wouldn't purchase from someone that doesn't have any transactions or reviews, why would I expect someone to purchase from me? So I
Yeah.
think that's very, very important. And like you mentioned, to have an exit strategy for the type of silver that you're buying is definitely very important. So it seems that you buy most of your silver from a local coin shop.
Well, not necessarily because, well, like for me, I like the online dealers. The two dealers three dealers I dealt with was SD Bullion, press what is it? Bullion exchanges and AmpMex. I've done with all three of those. I've done business with all three of those, and they're good. I just go to my local coin shop for like the big purchases, because I don't wire. It's cheaper to wire through bullion exchanges and AmpMex and SD Bullion. It's cheaper to wire, and I use my credit card most of the time when I do online purchases. That way, I can dispute it if I have to. But I may go down the road of using a wire. Who knows? But I just feel more comfortable if I'm making a huge purchase to go to the local coin shop right now. I just feel comfortable doing that because I can walk in with some cash and just buy what I want, and I'm out, and I get to see it too. That's another benefit. I get to see it ahead of time. Because if you buy generic rounds like from SD Bullion, um, oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
No, if you buy it from SD Bullion, then you don't, if they're random, you don't get a chance to see what you're getting. I got the Buffalo rounds from bullion exchanges. Excuse me, bullion exchanges. And when they came, they were all tarnished. They had the milk spots, and it was horrible. And I'm like, man, I don't want to send them back. I just ended up keeping them, but I didn't like that. So that's the benefit of going to a local coin shop. You get to look at what you want. You get to look at the item before you make a purchase.
No,
So,
it definitely does make things easier, especially if the price is right.
mm,
Especially if that's the case. I think I saw a comment from Alex up here. Yeah, eBay and PayPal take 13%. If you sell $600 plus on eBay, you have to pay taxes on profit and you have to ship it. So I mean, yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. I want to say what's up to Silver Heist, what's going on, and West Coast Stacker, and Corn is in the house. What's going on, my good friend Corn?
come on.
Yeah, the
Cool.
another legend is in the house.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
good.
Corn's gonna be very not happy that what you've been through, but that's what Corn's trying to like warn everyone about the silver, right? Like how the high premium stuff can be kind of dangerous, especially if you don't really know exactly how you're gonna get rid of it. And yeah, so I think this is kind of what Corn is trying to, you know, I mean, and like you've been through it, right? You've been through that loss with silver, so I think that's what Corn's trying to go ahead and get people to understand, or at least he was, right? He kind of deleted all of the videos in his channel now.
Well, the thing is, when Corn first was saying something about silver, I was like, and this is when I bought my Arctic Foxes. At first, I'm like, no, no way. But then I'm thinking, wait a minute, that makes a whole lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's like
no,
common sense.
yeah. So I mean, Corn has is always looking out for the best of for everyone in the community, but sometimes we just don't like to hear it. Sometimes we think that it can be different for us because I guess that's how people think. But it's best to definitely really really have a plan and lay it out. But like you said, with those Arctic Fox, you still can find a way to make some money off of them, but it's just not going to be as easy as maybe you anticipated.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I think too, the great news is that we're lucky to have somebody like Corn that basically, uh, gives us the honest facts, and he's coming from a place of just kindness and caring. And I think that's a jewel, to have somebody like that in your corner, because there's a lot of people out there who will take advantage.
Yeah.
So that's great. And also in terms of the Arctic Fox thing on eBay, if I do sell them on eBay, there's just so many scammers out there. There's a lot of people that would say, "Well, I never received it." Well, what am I going to do? I can't get the money if it's lost in the mail, or if they're lying to me, I can't get the money. Either I'll have to send them another one or refund the money back to them, you know?
Right.
So
No,
it's,
no, yeah, there's a lot of risk and headache that you don't have to go through if you have a, like gold can be a more stable, you know, metal than silver. But I mean, for me, I have mostly silver. I'm not against silver at all, but I just think that you should do as much research as you can and really like figure out what's best in your situation. And I think for most people is buying as close to spot as possible.
well, I mean, yeah, that's true. But see, like, okay, at the local coin shop, one of my local coin shops, and I don't know if you caught it when I was saying this on one of Urban Lifestyle streams. They were at this level that silver is now around the $14.50 level. They were selling American Silver Eagles $5 over spot.
Wow.
So I mean, somebody new coming into that store could say, "Oh, this is an American Silver Eagle. It's a great deal. I'm going to go in there and get it." Da 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 da. But then the thing is, the new guy doesn't realize they're short on inventory, so they're jacking up the price to kind of discourage people from buying them, which the person with the experience is going to realize what they're doing, and they're not going to buy it, but the new person is going to go in there and buy them up, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, yeah. No,
So,
I also have that too in my local coin shop. If I buy like an individual like American Silver Eagle, it's I think 375 above spot. And if I buy a tube, which is 20, I think it's 350 over spot. But for me now, it's just being a smart shopper. I use
yeah.
eBay bucks when I'm gonna buy. I just go on eBay and pick them up for almost most of the time. I won't buy a Silver Eagle unless it's $2 in the spot now, but that took me time, that took me, research to go ahead and figure out how to do that. It's not like you were mentioning, like someone that heard American Silver Eagles are great, they go to their local coin shop and they're like, oh, I guess this is what I'm supposed to buy, and they overpay, $3 over spot.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. And that's the scary thing. And I think there's a lot of pitfalls that people can fall into, the new stackers could fall right into and not even realize it until down the road. I think for me, my regret would have been, or my biggest regret is that I wish I would have not just listened to Michael Maloney or Peter Schiff or ITM Trading or all these other people. They're good to listen to because they got a lot of facts, but you need that other side that says, wait a minute. Even Chris Dwayne, the Silver Shield guy, you got to realize where they're coming from. It's their business.
Yeah, 100. We need corns in our life. We need people like that to bring us back. And again,
Yeah,
they're giving you good information. I don't think that they're trying to abuse us, but they do have a profit to be made by selling the metal, right? And we have to keep that in mind. For me, like I said, it was Peter Schiff, and I didn't go all in, but I probably had like maybe around $3,000 in some stocks. And I haven't made a video talking about this, but I'm just gonna talk about it right now. I could have
okay.
made a lot of money because I had AMD at like below $10, and I went all the way up to I think almost $30, and I had
Wow.
almost 2 grand, like $2,500 of AMD, and I sold that to go ahead and get into silver. So I haven't even done the math, but I think that's a good video for the people that that are newer to silver and they're just getting into it, there's an opportunity cost with the money that you can be doing. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Right.
it's just good. But again, I'm here and I believe in precious metals, right? But I think it's just bring it back to earth, and again, it's because people just think that's gonna go to like $100, or if you believe some of the crazier people out there, they're saying that's gonna go to $10,000, right? And like,
Hmm.
I know it doesn't matter how rational you think. There's like that little itch behind there, like, well, maybe, dude, like maybe it can
Right.
go to 100, maybe, but we have to come back to reality. And again, like I'm not saying silver is bad or gold is bad, but you make sure you have cash, make sure you're low debt, make sure you diversify, and that's just what's best for you and your family.
Right. Right. And I think the cheapest silver you can find, in my opinion, and I haven't done it in years, and I was actually kind of writing an ebook on it, is do some coin roll hunting. You know, look in the trays of your when you're in the grocery store. Look in that tray in the Coinstar machine. See if anybody left any silver behind. Those are the cheaper ways of getting into silver. You don't have to buy the kookaburra or the pandas, or you don't have to buy those high premium coins to get involved in stacking. You really don't. And
Right.
even people find deals on junk silver or constitutional silver, whichever you prefer. Even they find good deals on that from their local coin shop. So you don't have to have um, the 4-9 spine Arctic Fox like I had to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because I had so much money with me to buy those Arctic Fox coins. They took me into a separate room and told me we normally don't like to have that much money on the floor, on the main
Wow.
floor of the coin shop. Yeah, yeah. So I was like, okay. And the guy didn't even count it. He put it into one of those machines to count the money.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
yeah, yeah. So don't be like me, because now I'm hurt and I don't know how I'm gonna get rid of those Arctic
Well,
Fox.
hey, I'll buy a few off of you, man. If that helps you out, I'll take a few
No,
foxes from you, my friend.
oh no, no.
Every sale counts, bro. I want to say what's up to you. Agori, good gold prospecting all the way from Australia. What's going on? I love seeing people from Australia just like around the world. It blows my mind. We have a troublemaker in the house, so everyone be careful and keep an eye on Southside Stacker. We don't know what he's going to say or do, so be forewarned, everyone. NATV, what's going on? But yeah, man, I again, like, it's just the information, and those pumpers are the ones that are getting everyone into silver, can get a lot of people into trouble, and then
Right.
like, you're living proof of it, and I easily could have been too, um but I just, for whatever reason, I was hesitant to go all in on silver. But so what do you have your goals for do you have any goals for coming up, and for the new year's gonna, is around the corner? Any new goals for 2019?
Well, what I've been thinking about is prepping, because the reason I say prepping, because if depending on what type of stacker you are, if you're doing it as a hedge, or if you're doing it because you think we're going to go into some kind of hyperinflation, which I feel may happen. I'm not going to say it will happen 100%, but it may happen. And if it does happen, I remember, I think it was Korn who said something like, nobody's going to care if the economy if we're like in Mad Max era type deal, nobody's going to care about your gold coin, or well, maybe your gold coin, but your silver coin, your silver shield coin that costs $30. Nobody's going to care about it because they're worried about food and being able to protect themselves. You know what I mean? So, um, I think Korn said something about that. And I think he's right. So what I want to start doing is storing food that has a long shelf life. That's one of my goals for the new year. Slow down on accumulating silver a little bit until I got more cash. Let's see. I eventually want to get more gold, because I only have like half an ounce worth of gold.
Right.
So I want to get more gold. So I'm not done with silver. It's just not going to be. I have a lot, so it's not it's not going to be a main goal of the coming year. But I think if you know what type of stacker you are and you work with that, you'll be fine because there's some stackers that want to flip.
Right, right.
You
No,
know,
and that's the beauty about that's why I like doing these conversations. Just
right?
because everyone's situation is different, right?
Hmm.
And there's people that like flipping. There's people that are their living is buying silver and selling it, and that's what they do for a living, you know?
Right, right.
So every situation is different, and the more people I talk to, the more I can learn, and the more people can, you know, that are listening to them, maybe they can learn something, and maybe someone's in a similar situation like you, and they can, you know, take your advice or you know, learn from the mistakes that we've made and just move forward. So I think these are really really cool. And I want to say what's up to South Texas Prepper. That guy's a beast too. He's like, I think
Right.
he's invested in real estate, and yeah, that guy's awesome. He has a lot of gold and silver too. Talking Billions in the house. Another cool guy. He has a show now on Mondays with stacking and prepping, which is awesome. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah, it's super cool, man. This community is awesome, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. But for me too, I definitely need to get into the prepping aspect, just because for me, I got into it because of the, you know, seeing an undervalued asset and wanting to put money into it. But the more I
Hmm.
learn is like, you know, things can go south, and if you're not prepared, you know, then you're probably going to be screwed. So it's just
Right.
opening my eyes to, you know, have a generator, have
Yeah.
extra food, have extra water. I'm pretty good with the water just because I live in Southern California and the earthquakes. So that's definitely been instilled in me from like a young age to have like a case or two of water. But nothing to
Right.
like, you know, nothing like
Right.
an actual prepper.
Right. And I think one thing they don't talk about, a lot of preppers don't talk about, are prepping channels or even channels where they talk about gold and silver, but then they talk about prepping a little bit, is having like a skill trade.
Right.
If you're able to grow food and you know how to do that, that's a skill, you know? Um, for me, I'm hoping it doesn't get to the point where it's like Mad Max era, but I'm looking into becoming a notary. Here in Arizona, they don't require you to do a test or anything. You just pay your filing fee and all that. So I'm thinking about being a notary because I'm thinking even if the currency goes back, they're still going to need people to notarize contracts. They'll just use a different medium of exchange besides money. They could use gold. Urban Lifestyle did a video a while back that caught him some flack, and it was Donald Trump letting Amex rent out a space in one of his buildings, and they paid for it in gold. Well, everybody thought, oh, it's so political. It's about politics. Da, 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 da. No, it wasn't even about politics. It's showing that these precious metals are used as a medium of exchange. That's what that video was about, but nobody got it because they were too freaking out over Donald Trump being in a video, you know? So I'm just saying, as a medium of exchange or barter, these metals can function in that way. And if they do, they still will need a contract to show that the business transaction happened. So if they do need that, then they'll have a notary. They'll need a notary. So I figure that's one option, you know. But I want to develop multiple skills in terms of having skills to be able to function if the worst case does happen. You know
No,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So
absolutely. I think that's very important, and also something that I even hear less people talking about is, you know, taking care of your health, right?
right.
I think Silver Chimp's in the house. Silver Chimp runs, I think, a marathon every 3 months, man.
Wow.
I think Silver Chimp and Silver Saint 77, they're good friends, and they go running marathons a few times a year.
Wow.
So that's really, really important for, you know, if something were to happen, you know, they have the, you know, they're healthy people. um so I
Right.
mean, I think that's super important. But also, what was I gonna say? The notary. So that'd be something that you can just knock out in like a weekend. It sounds like.
I'm just probably going to do it right around the end of this month, and it takes I think 10 weeks after you file for them to go through your background and all that stuff. But it's just something extra skill to have underneath my belt, you know. Of course, I'll learn some other skills. Who knows? Maybe I'll learn how to cook javelina. Uh, so it just having skills though really helps you in our society now because skilled trades people who have a skilled trade, they get paid a lot. They get paid pretty well. People who drive trucks, they get paid pretty well. So having a skill that you can use now, and then other skills that you can use if we're in an SHTF situation, is a good thing. And like you were saying, being healthy, that's important because if you're out there in the elements and you need to get moving somewhere quick, whether it's to another place where you can find more shelter, or if you're carrying a bug out bag and you have a real heavy bug out bag, you don't want to all of a sudden have to rest every 15 minutes and not reach your destination. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, health is important. Health is very important. It's an element I definitely want to work on more too. You know, being more healthy, having more of aerobics and flexibility and things like that. It's not necessarily just for bulking up, you know, muscle wise, but
Right.
also for uh, to have to be functional out
Yeah,
there. I have to go
cardiovascular,
out there.
flexibility, all that's super important. But what I
Yeah.
was wanted to mention before was that the silver certificates. That's why I love giving those away. The silver certificates, just because it says like $1 silver. It's like it's payable in silver, right? Because gold and silver was money back then, and I feel like a
Exactly.
lot of people now don't even know that or forgot about that or never learned that gold and silver was real money or is real money, I guess.
Right, right. You're right. You're right. Back in the day, it was well, not back in the day. I guess is it still in the Constitution, if I recall? Or is it in the Constitution, or I can't recall what it is, but it's in some document saying that gold and silver are the only mediums we could use in terms of printing out or producing as money to be used in money used in barter situations. So um, that's somewhere. I think it's in the Constitution or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now here's another fact that I brought up different times. Now I don't have the exact history behind it, but I do remember there were two times our currency, American currency, has failed. It was the Continental that failed, and then the Confederate currency failed. Obviously, because we had the Civil War there, but so America has a history of currency that has failed. You know, so it's not like it's never happened in America. It has happened in America, and the odds are it's going to happen again. So the more prepared you are, I mean, the better. You know,
Right.
um, I have some family members that believe in prepping, and I have some that don't. So I just want to make sure if things get really bad, I have a means to take care of everybody, take care of myself first, because it's like you have to put on the oxygen mask on yourself first before you put it on anybody else. So I want to take
That's
care of
so true.
myself first. And then I want to help other people, my family and my friends. And hey, people that I know that are in the silver or that I've met through the community, help them out in some way if possible. So yeah, yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. So um,
Yeah, so Southside Stacker here says, look up Article 1, Section 10, and read it out loud, bro. No, I think he wrote, yeah, Article 1, Section 10, states can only use silver and gold as currency. Yes, thank you so much, Southside Stacker.
there we go.
What's up, JT Coins Rings? Yeah, people are still, I wish you had access to the chat. Unfortunately, Fred can't see the chat. But yeah, it's definitely they're having fun at the chat in the chat as
Oh,
always.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, so I mean, we talked about a lot of issues tonight, and I think the issue is, in the future, if things get bad, you just want to have that confidence in yourself that you're going to be okay. Because nobody wants to see in the next couple of years or 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is, nobody wants to see anybody out there who can't survive, you know, uh, a downturn or a crisis or currency collapse. We don't want to see anybody out there like that. We want to see everybody out there surviving, and maybe after it happens, becoming wealthy even because they put away some silver or some gold. I definitely wish I had more gold because gold was a lot of people recognize gold. Now, I don't know if you've seen those videos where the guy goes around with a stack of candy bars.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
have.
yeah, so even though we recognize gold and silver, the average person doesn't recognize it in some ways, and that's unfortunate. But I think people that are maybe a little bit business oriented or professional or who knows their history can understand the value of gold and silver. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So
definitely. I
yeah,
do find those videos interesting. Um, I wonder if it's like everyone that has no clue, or if they just like edit it because they could easily just, oh, this guy knows what's up. Let's go ahead and cut him out of the video, you know. But
well, that's true.
for most people that I know in day to day, they can care less about precious metals, prepping, everything that we kind of enjoy doing here. So I do find that interesting. When you see everyone going a certain direction, you kind of question which way they're going, or at least I do, right? Like if I see everyone doing one thing, I like to stop and hit the brakes and make sure like what's really going on here. And most of the time, I find myself going the other way.
Right, right. And I don't know if you saw the little cartoon where it was the ants and the grasshopper. Um, and during the warm weather, the ants were stocking up for the winter. But the grasshopper was running around in this cartoon. He was just playing music and having a good old time and making fun of the ants for stacking, not stacking, I say stacking, but I
Right.
mean preparing for the winter, and he would make fun of them. Well, fast forward, winter comes. The ants are inside their little ant home, and they're drinking, having a good old time. And the grasshopper is frozen in the cold. He's freezing to cold. You see his skin turns from green to blue. Basically, he's on the verge of dying. But the ants were kind enough to bring him in and allow him to, play and all that because it was a Disney film. But I think in reality, if people don't prepare, they could end up like the grasshopper, but nobody's going to come and save them.
Yeah,
So,
no, I definitely agree with that. And Kendall Kid, shout out to you. The guy's name is Mark Dice. He does the videos about chocolate versus like gold and silver. I've seen those too, where he has like a chocolate Hershey's bar or like a 10-ounce bar of silver, and then people just rather take the Hershey bar.
yeah. And I've seen some of those videos where they want nothing. They don't want nothing. They're like, oh, no, I don't want nothing. I don't, no, no, I got to go. I got to go. That's kind of like insane to me. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
You won't even take the candy bar. Wow.
Shout out to Silver Saint 77. Most will die. Not even people. He says just most will die. Um, I just guess most will die. Uh, hey Barbara, what's going on? Uh, yeah. So we're talking to Fred, and he's dropping some knowledge on us. And yeah, we've been going at it for almost 50 minutes, man. So let me
Okay.
know when you want to cut it. It usually lasts like around an hour.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just kind of letting you know where we are in time. It's up
Okay.
to you though.
No, no. We could cut it here in 10 minutes if you want. I'm just having a good time because I besides me talking to Urban Lifestyle and you, I don't normally talk about these subjects except with a couple of family members, and that's it. So it's good to have a good audience, and it's good to have a lot of people out there that are interested in, possible things that could happen in the future. So I'm happy. I'm happy we have an audience and some people that are willing to listen, and we have a lot of the veterans up there, who have educated me, and let me know, hey, look, you need to make some changes, and they're right. I had to make some changes. So um, I think it's important to have that view. I don't know if I touched on everything, like the from the pumper side of things. I don't know if I touched on every point, but there's a lot of reasons for silver to go up in value. There's a lot
Yeah.
of reasons for that. Um, but we also have to be prepared if it doesn't go up in value. You know what I mean? Um, some of my family members, I may want to will it to them, if I'm not here. They can have the silver that I've accumulated and other things I've accumulated. So that's another option for me. So you definitely got to be flexible because who knows what the future may hold. I know there's a lot of indicators like a inverted yield curve and all these things you hear about. There's a lot of indicators out there that shows, hey, we're going to have some problems in the future. And if we have those type of problems, I really feel bad for those who aren't prepared. I really feel bad. And I think the people that are listening to us right now have taken steps to be more prepared in the future. I don't want to encourage anybody to live their life in fear, but I just want people to know that being prepared for the future, uh, uh, like the old saying, well, not the old saying, but if you've seen The Incredibles, Edna would say, fortune favors the prepared. So if we want to be able to be part of the fortunate few who make it through and actually thrive, we got to be prepared. We really do. Um, so yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
no, I love how you said you don't want anyone to be living in fear, and I think that's a mindset that some preppers can fall into. Especially I know some people that that's all they're waiting for. They're not even living life at that point. They're just waiting for the situation to hit the fan. So all these years of their life, everything that they've worked towards is that moment, and I think that's kind of like not necessarily a good way to be living life, or at least I don't think that's a healthy way to be living life. So I do like
right.
that distinction that you made, that is very, very huge, saying that you don't want anyone to live in fear, but to be prepared for themselves and for their loved ones. And also something else that you said that I really liked was that, you have to put your own oxygen mask first before you can help other people out. And that's very, very important.
Right, right. And if you're in a situation right now where you don't have any debt, you have some savings put aside, you have some metals put aside, you got a skill trade going on, various skill trades going on. You're in a good situation. You're in a good situation. But I think what you were saying before is key. Don't put your life on hold, because if you're in a good situation financially and you have the means, say you and your family want to go on a vacation, but you're like, no, I don't want to go. I got a silver. I gotta no, you don't need to be like that. Take your children out for a vacation every once in a while. I'm not saying go into debt for it, but I'm saying if you maybe save a little bit of money up for a vacation, go take a vacation. Go
Right.
create those memories. Don't put everything on hold until I got to wait until silver hits a certain point before I can start living life. No, you got to live life now.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
to live life now.
Barbara says, "Prep so you won't be afraid, not because you're afraid," and that's a great quote right there. Prep so you won't be afraid, not because you are afraid, and I think that's great. That's great information, and like again, that's something that I'm lacking on. I kind of have something in the works. I can't say anything about it too much here, but shortly you'll see something in my channel. I'm gonna kind of step in to wet my toes a little bit with the prepping side of things. I live in Southern California in the suburbs, so it's not like if I have like a farm or land or anything like that. So I'm just gonna
Yeah.
show my way, and maybe some people that are in similar situations like mine can go ahead and learn a thing or two.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And I think the cool thing is it doesn't matter where you're at as long as you decide to start.
Right.
As long as you decide to start, you're going to be okay. Um, I saw a video and I don't remember the ingredients for it, but it was really simple. This guy was showing how to make something called hardtack. And it was like flour and some simple ingredients. And he made the hardtack, and it's not really the greatest thing in the world, but it's something that will have a long shelf life. And I guess the military sometimes they use it, but it has a long shelf life. And hey, that could be a backup for your food. If you have no food, so
Right.
put away for the long term. So I think prepping is important because let's. Oh shoot,
Are
are
you
you
okay?
there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, my phone. Sorry. No, I think prepping is important because even if there isn't a collapse, there's always floods and hurricanes and earthquakes. And if you're in a situation where something like that happens to you, you need to have access to food near you because the stores could be shut down. They could be rubble. Who knows?
Right.
I saw on the news a while back, and I don't normally watch the news because it's usually a negative thing, but I did get a snippet of it where they showed a whole town was burned down. A
Uh-huh.
whole town was burned down. So, I mean, if you were able to carry some gold coins with you, some food in a bug out bag, if your
Yeah.
home was burned down, that's very unfortunate. But at least you would have some money and some means. You know
Right.
what
That's
I mean?
what Yankee says. Three words, clever coin, bug out bag. And I think that's very, very important. I have something uh, not nowhere near what I need for a bug out bag, or I have
Mhm.
a suitcase filled with, certain important documents that are easy to get to. But again, these are things that I would love to get into just because I think it's great to be prepared. Like showing me make a bug out bag for the situation that I'm in. I know there's like a lot of people like North Country Off Grid or people that are, have farms like Silver Saint 77 that have the means to go ahead and have livestock and things like that. So I mean, it's like you just said, you just have to start, and it doesn't matter like if you have 1/10 ounce gold coin, like that's more than most people in the world. So same thing with
Exactly.
having a bug out bag. I don't think most people, at least where I'm from, have a bug out bag ready to go. So it's just, and not comparing yourself to other people, just try to better yourself day by day, week by week, and then before you know it, you'll be ready for what's to come.
Yeah, I totally agree with it. You're right on point with that statement. I think that's the truth, and that's the gist of what I'm saying. So, like I say, a lot of us can give ourselves a pat on the back because we're here and we're learning. We're willing to learn, and willing to prepare ourselves for anything that may happen. So, I think it's great. I think it's great, and also, like I said, you keep yourself balanced on the information you take in, and I think you'll be okay. It's even as long as I've been involved in coin collecting and stacking. Um, sometimes it's hard. Like some people, I read the comments and they say, "Hey, when is gold or when is silver or gold gonna go up? I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting." But the thing is, the longer time it takes, the more you have time to be more prepared. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, like for me,
So,
especially, sorry to cut you off, but for me, I'm definitely still in that accumulating phase for pretty much everything, right? I'm 25 years old, so I don't mind if these prices were another 10 years, 15 years. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and investing in gold, silver, getting prepared. And I always tell people, make sure to save cash. I don't care if it's $10 a week, $100 a week, whatever you can afford. Make sure you save a little bit. You never know what's going to happen. A car can break down or something, and you want to have that liquidity available. You don't want to go sell your silver for a loss, right?
oh yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's key to no matter what, never stop saving. Never stop your savings to buy that rare coin. I saw this one coin and I think it's amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. It's Superman and he's like busting through the coin. I don't know if you've seen that coin yet or not.
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And the portion of him that's busting through the coin, I don't think that's silver, but I think the coin portion of it, the bottom part, is silver. But I mean, it's amazing. But if I'm saving and it's going to hurt my savings, I'm not going to go and buy that coin.
Right, right.
Maybe I'll save for the coin, but I'm not going to buy it right away. If it's going to hurt my savings. So I think no matter, even if you're getting out of debt, save.
Yeah.
Even if you're trying to get out of debt, save, because savings is amazing. It's amazing because if there's something that happens, you don't have to be freaked out. You're not freaked. I got money. I can handle it. It's no big deal.
Right. I don't know how you feel about Dave Ramsey, but I know a lot of people in this community don't like him too much. But he has a program called Financial Peace, and there's like 6 steps, I think. And the first one is $1,000 emergency fund, which is like an emergency. It's like a mini emergency fund to have
Mhm.
$1,000 before you even start paying off your debt, right? And then step 2 is pay off all your debts other than your mortgage. But like that $1,000 there for a reason, right? It's like an insurance. It's there for a buffer. So
Right.
I think it's very important to have a few hundred dollars, somewhere where you can get them for an emergency. And because I've seen people, and I haven't been in this community too long, but I've seen a
Mhm.
lot of people go all in on silver, and within a few months they have to get rid of all of it because of an emergency. Life happens, and I understand that, but you have to plan for those things that are kind of unplanned for, right? In its own
Cool.
weird way.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a guy who was on YouTube, and I loved his videos, and I always saw him on there, and I thought, man, he is so great, and he's so awesome, and he's getting these high-end pandas and kookaburras, and doing the sets, and the next thing I know, he just stopped making content, and then he came back
Oh,
with less.
I know who you're talking about, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and
Um,
then he came back, and he's basically doesn't have as much silver as he used to have.
it's the younger guy, right, with the long hair. I forgot his name.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. I know his name. I just don't want to.
So he doesn't want to drop names. Fred doesn't want
Yeah,
to drop names. I genuinely forgot his name. I wouldn't mind bringing him out. But yeah, he's also someone that you know I saw that, and it was like a plane flying, and it just crashed down and it exploded. He was asking for, I think, for money, right, at a point.
yeah, yeah. He was, and I felt horrible when I
Slayer,
saw
oops,
that.
Gains Investor. Shame, shame, shame on you, Gains Investor Slayer. I think, yeah, Silver Slayer. Shout out to that guy, man. He's an OG too. But life
Yeah,
happens, right? Life happens, and
yeah, it does. Yeah, it
um,
does. Yeah,
but yeah, man, that's why you have to really take this seriously and not just buy because people tell you to buy, and really do your own research, and do what's best for yourself and your family.
yeah. You're right. You're right. And in the end, if you do those things and you still live your life, you'll have a full life. You'll have a life with a lot less worry, a lot less fear. You'll be able to do more things that you want to do with your life. Go where you want to go. Be who you want to be, and that's the key. That's the key. So I think that's awesome that we brought that up.
Yeah,
But
no.
am I keeping you over your time or?
No, no, I think we're good. I do have somewhere to be, but other than that, dude, we did over an hour. We're at 63 minutes right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there's anything you want to ask the chat, I know you can't see them, but I mean, or if there's anything you want to ask me before you go, any final remarks, you can go ahead and do so now.
Oh, okay. No, it's great. If you guys see me out there, say hello, where I leave a comment here and there. I try to watch as many videos as I can. Sometimes I miss a few because it's hard, hours at a time watching YouTube. But say hello to me. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Any of that stuff, I'm more than willing to talk with you, and you may help me, and I may help you in some way. So that's all, really.
Cool, cool, yeah. And if you ever like, you have a great story, dude. Like how you got in so high in silver, and that loss that you took, and I really do appreciate you, letting people know the truth. And if you ever do make content, just let me know. I'll shout you out again.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
So that way you can go ahead and I'll just help you out. And I really do appreciate your time, man. You don't have to be here like talking to me for like an hour. So I try to do my
No, it was
best.
fun.
Yeah, you know. So I do
It's
my
really
best trying to, give you the attention and respect you deserve. So, yeah, that was great.
well. Thanks, and thanks for having me on and let me take the time to talk about these issues. I think it was great because I can't think of anything else to say. So
That's good news. Okay,
yeah,
chat. That was Fred Gar, and if you guys want to be on, there's a list now, so you might have to wait a while. But eventually, I would love to have you on, just like this. We can chat a little bit about silver, a little bit about other stuff. I would love to have you on, and get to know you a little bit better. My email is theclevercoin@gmail.com. You guys can find that. I'm sure you guys can. And that was it for today. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.